Hello, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. It is 2 p.m. and you're watching the breaking news show on CNN News 18 and I am Sriya Kundu, here to take you through all the latest developments from across the nation and around the world over the next 30 minutes. And well, we have some breaking news coming in right at the top of this segment, wherein the government has imposed checks on export of basmati rice to contain inflation. What exactly is the context of this information? Well, contracts with the value of below 1200 USD per MT may be kept in abeyance and may be evaluated by a committee to be set up by the chairman of APEDA for understanding the variation of the prices and use of this route for export of non-basmati white rice. Now, it has been noted that there has been large variation in the contract price of basmati being exported, with the lowest contract price being 359 USD per MT in backdrop of average price of 1214, which is 1214 USD per MT during the current month. Now, the committee should submit its report within a period of 1 month, whereafter a decision on lower price exports of basmati planned by industry can be taken appropriately. APEDA should hold the consultations with trade to sensitize them about the matter and work with them to discourage any use of the window for export of non-basmati white rice. This is the particular detail we have. We do have Rupashri Nanda joining us on the broadcast. Rupashri, a very good afternoon to you. Well, this is the input that we have received, wherein the government has imposed checks on export of basmati rice to contain inflation. What more are we gathering, and if you could set some more context for our viewers to understand the situation?
Well, the government actually has been absolutely on an overdrive when it comes to addressing concerns of food inflation, especially when it comes to cereals. And this is just the latest in a series of decisions that the government has taken in order to ensure that there is availability in the domestic market and prices are also under check. Now, if you just go through what you have said yourself, they have noticed that there has been an increase in the price of rice itself, and also not a usual increase in exports, both basmati and non-basmati, when it comes to rice. And therefore, the government has taken this measure in order to control the amount of exports. And for the first time, it has imposed restrictions also on basmati rice. Now, why is basmati rice important? That is because, it is not a commonly used rice in the domestic market, as the prices are very high, and it is highly sought after in the international market. And therefore, there are questions as to, if you restrict the export of basmati rice, how does it help the price? How does it help the government to contain the prices over here? But the government actually, in a statement, has said that there has been some report of basically basmati rice being exported as non-basmati, and therefore they have that this is one of the reasons that they have taken this decision. The other important point to note is that in the statement, the government has said that compared to the Rabi crop of 22-23 and the Rabi crop of this year, the previous year, there has been a drop in the estimate in production. That is the advanced estimate in production of rice. So the festive season is coming up. Food inflation has seen a meteoric rise, almost 11% over the past 1 or 2 months, and that is a risk that the government does not want to take. Now, it is going to invite a sort of a backlash from industry. Why? Because they will looking at making more money on the export of rice. There will also be questions raised as to what will happen to the rice that has already been built and is waiting at the various ports in order to be exported. But the government has taken this decision, keeping in interest keeping the interest of the consumer as well as the producer in mind, and it is a risk at this point that the government clearly does not want to take.
Right, Rupashri. And right now, if we are to simplify this for our viewers, the consumers, the Indian consumers, how might they be affected with this particular checks that are being imposed?
Well, it does send a signal to the market that the government is extremely serious about containing the food price in the domestic market. it sends a signal to the producers also. It sends a signal to the exporters also that if you're hoarding rice, and if you think that you're going to export all that rice and make a lot of money, then think again. The first priority is the domestic consumer. And therefore, one does expect that the price in the domestic market is definitely going to come down, though it is going to cause a lot of heartburn amongst rice exporters.
Right, Rupeshri. Thank you for bringing us all those details. Indeed, the government's measure seems to be a strict warning for the public, and we will keep a track of this particular story as we get more updates.